We-On-Loc Nation here. Just thought I'd kick it with you for a little while. And let's see. Sunday, on a Sunday night, doing some checking up on Mrs. Crockett and see what she's been up to. Just doing a little look through, see what she's been up to. Which apparently she's been doing a lot, according to this. And I never did this before, so let's see what it do.
I go to work every single day that we're in session in DC. When I'm not in DC, I am absolutely in Texas traveling. There is no other candidate that will outwork me, and those are just the facts. Last weekend, we did over 17 stops in 2 days. I did not sleep because it was my decision to run for office. So I can't say, well, I'm sorry, I got to be at work. Yes, I'm going to show up for the job that I was elected to do. And that is why I am better qualified to actually go back to DC, because I am in the belly of the beast, because people know what it is to have my representation on the federal level. We have a record number of both Republicans and Democrats that are currently leaving because they don't know how to navigate this terrain. People don't have to question or wonder who I am in this specific moment. They know who I am in this specific moment. So while we are facing a government shutdown that most likely is going to occur, I am still showing up. If I don't have to be in DC, I am right here on the ground talking to the people, meeting them where they are, and I am doing it in a very, very aggressive way. So I'm with y'all this morning, but I did 4 clubs last night, and I also did a roundtable of local leaders in Houston. Got up this morning. We still have 2 more stops in East Texas, and then I want to head to Dallas. I won't be done until about midnight. I will work, and that is what will matter, and that's what will make the difference, and that is how I'm going to win. I go to work every single day that we're in session.
Interesting. So she's doing a tours, everybody. So, but did anybody see when she was on what stupid show was that? The View. Let's check.
As we sit here on January 6th, I do want to be clear. Somebody else was trying to be a Maduro of the United States. Yep. Somebody else wanted to do the exact same thing. Yep. The difference is Maduro was successful. Mm-hmm. I also want to point out that we now in the state of Texas and around this country are enduring this ridiculous redistricting scheme. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Again, because he doesn't really believe in free and fair elections. So again, this idea that he is doing this for a great reason. He made it clear, because it's my understanding that when he went into that press conference, he said at least 20 times, oil, 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 oil.
He sure did.
Listen to him when he speaks. He's telegraphing. And so Jack Smith, I hate that he did not get his day in court. I hate that for the American people. As we sit here on January 6th.
Not only that, he's a bit of a bigot, a smart bigot, nevertheless, because again, what makes money makes money. Everything else can just fly with the birds. So I give Trump a little bit of credit than usual. I give him a little bit of credit than usual. He's not a bum he's a how do I say it? When it comes to money, he's not smart spending it. But when it comes to knowing how to get it, yeah, he definitely knows how to get money. He definitely knows how to get money. My. She is a beautiful one, I will tell you that. She is one beautiful lady.
I am smiling. Can you see the smile that is on my face? I'm not only smiling because I'm currently in the state of Arizona where we're about to talk about snatching these Arizona seats so that we can absolutely flip the house. So I'm so happy to be here with my colleagues, Yasmin Ansari, who represents right here in Arizona, as well as the Senator Chris Murphy. We are in Arizona and the house is sold out. It is a packed crowd. There was nothing but people standing in line as we rolled up. So we are about to talk about it. We are about to talk about the importance of flipping the house. But in addition to that, because I'm not going to be able to stay long, guess what happened today? Guess what happened today? So many of you first learned my name when we broke quorum back in 2021 when I was still in the state house over voting rights. Well, guess what? My colleagues, my former colleagues from the state house, they said, deuces, we out. We don't like what you're doing. So I'm really excited and I am so thankful because this is the type of fight that the American people need to see. Now, ultimately, who knows where all this is going to end up? But just know that there are some of us that are still willing to fight because we understand how high the stakes are. We understand that this ridiculous tyrant is trying to do everything that he can to break our democracy. But there are democracy defenders that believe in absolutely standing up for the people. They understand the assignment. They understand who they swore oath to. They understand that they don't serve him. We don't serve him. He's not ours. He's not our constituent. He's not. So I'm really excited that they broke quorum. I'm excited that they are going to bring awareness to exactly what they're trying to do and why it is so wrong. I'm excited that hopefully this will be the energy that more Democrats need to see so that hopefully we can start to push back in a major way because unfortunately he is trampling on our rights in a major way. He is trampling on our voices in a major way. And frankly, he is trampling on our great name in a major way, as well as our economy, as well as, like prices and jobs. I mean, because like when you don't like the jobs report, you just fire somebody. Anyway, he's trampling on everything. Okay. And so I'm so excited. So I will tell you how hopefully you can support or at least know exactly what it is that the Texas House Democrats are up to because it was the House that broke quorum. So unfortunately, this bill is going to continue to move on the Senate side because the Senate side is still in, but the House is not in. And as we know, it's got to pass both chambers before it can get to anybody's desk. So as of right now, there is nothing that they can do as relates to the House. I am so very proud. Please, please, please look up these amazing state representatives, show them some love, encourage them, because this is really hard to make the decision that you're going to leave your family behind as you go and hide out because we got a rogue bootleg criminal attorney general who absolutely is like wanting to be Trump 2.0 himself, and he wants to put warrants out for people even though like he's the one that was under federal investigation for years and he's the one that had felony indictments pending for years and of course was avoiding prosecution for years. Yeah, because like that's what makes you real MAGA is like you got to be about this thug life. You got to be like cheating on your wife. You got to at least be going to get impeached if you ain't been impeached because he was impeached. He just wasn't convicted again. We've kind of seen this play out before. Anyway, but he got the nerve to talk about who should be arrested. Give me a break. Kind of like, the orange orangutan, the Timu Hitler. He on the same nonsense too. Bro, you the real criminal. Like, stop coming for people that's out here in these streets just trying to make
this country really work by going to work, and so you grabbing them up at work. That's a whole other issue. Anyway, the point is I am currently in Arizona, and the other point is they thought that they were going to put that terrible map on the floor tomorrow in the House and get it passed, and they are not going to be able to pass that map on the House floor tomorrow. So I'm really excited, really proud of these amazing Democrats. Please look them up, and please make sure that you show them as much love as possible. I'm sure they will give you information about how it is that you can support them on this journey. But again, this is bigger than Texas. This is about all of us. This is about making sure that there can be real checks and balances, because some people have decided to check out of their constitutional oaths and have decided that they were going to check into the wannabe Hitler life. So anyway, talk to y'all soon. Gotta jump on stage. God bless you all.
Hitler. You know, someone said if Trump raped your children, would you forgive him? And I just don't know what's wrong with this world, man. This world is definitely needs cleansing, because the guy, the caller, said these words out loud. I will absolutely forgive the guy. And I said, maybe you didn't hear the question. The guy asked, if Donald Trump raped your kids and you're a so-called Christian, would you, excuse me, would you forgive him for raping your kids? And he kept repeating the same thing. Just like most guys on the street. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can get away with it, you can get. If you can get away with certain things, you can get away with certain things. And I'm still asking and wondering, and maybe I'm losing brain cells asking this question, but I don't know what you see in Trump other than you say he's gonna do tax on tips, making it safe for Americans. He's this peaceful president, which he is not. He is a forgivable president, which he is not. This dude isn't living in delusional land. And then I see all these panels, and I dare not go. I'm the smart one, because I don't like going up on panels, because it's too hostile and it's just too many. You're dealing with too much personality. Too many to count. So what else we got? What else do we have? You know, she has a wonderful singing voice. I don't feel like hearing her sing right now. I just need her to be in that seat. That's what I need. I need for her to be in that seat, and I need for her to be in that seat immediately. Let's see. I didn't know she was in a sorority. Yeah. Anybody know if Jasmine Crockett is in a sorority? She did mention Delta, didn't she? She did mention Delta. Everybody, most of the people in my family are AKAs. So. Just here kicking it with y'all. For those who like to kick it with me, this is We-On-Loc Nation. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and chill with your boy for a little bit. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate that. What's my full name? Puddingtang. Ask me again and I'll tell you the same. Why would I give you my full name?
I've heard so much and I have prepared remarks. And if you know anything about me, you never know where I'm going. And frankly, I don't either because I have already cried this morning. So I'll just start here. As a civil rights lawyer, I'm incensed. As an American, I'm embarrassed. As a human, I'm infuriated. And as a member of Congress, I am immovable in my pursuit of accountability. You see, right now, people want to pretend as if this is right or left, but I'm here to tell you that this is about right or wrong. And it is very sad that the only people that are sitting here are members of the Democratic.
I can't sleep because, well, this is supposed to be my sleep time, but I wanted to work on something, and so far it's not working. So I am going to ask a expert, and I already know who to ask. It's basically very. Hopefully I can get it. Hopefully I can get him up early enough so he can help me out. But anyway, I already got the kids' clothes, got their lunches together, so I can hang out. Oh shoot, I can hang out the rest of the night. But if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, kick back and enjoy the ride.
Side. So I guess we just want to stand on the side of right. For once, we will be associated with being right instead of left. Because my question to any of you, and I just go down the line and ask you, is it right or wrong to arrest someone because of the color of their skin?
Absolutely not.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because of their accent?
Wrong.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because they were exercising their constitutional rights?
It is wrong.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because they simply disagree with you?
It's wrong.
All right, so it seems like y'all all went to elementary school and y'all can tell right from wrong. I'm not really sure what is going on with ICE right now, but I can tell you, and as we heard earlier, this is pure racism. I don't know why we want to tinker around with it and pretend as if it's something other than what it is. I like to call a thing a thing. And he has told us time and time again who he was when he talked about certain people being from certain shithole countries. Those are his words. Only reason I'm cussing in this moment. When he said things like they are eating the cats and dogs. We knew exactly what we were getting. And some people are saying, I don't know how we got here, but I do. Because we know that dehumanizing, I believe that you said something to the effect of cruelty and humiliation are the point. That's what you said, Miss Patty. Because when we look at other places, say places that did things like, go door to door, looking for people, as they had to hide out, say in an attic. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Or the images that I have seen of people being attacked by law enforcement, whether we're talking about dogs or fire hoses, it seems very reminiscent of something that we have seen before in this country. And then people get offended and try to say I'm too black, but the reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. So I'm going to be clear about one thing. I know my good black history. And so when I look and I say, and I will say it loud and proud because the DH secretary had a few choice words for me, but this looks like modern day slave patrols. And they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court. Whoever thought we would live in a country that progress looks like having a Supreme Court that says, yes, it is okay to look at somebody or to listen to their accent and give permission to grab them. The last time that I checked, ICE is only supposed to be doing immigration enforcement. And right now we have a record number of U.S. citizens that have not only been arrested, but as we saw with Renee, that have been killed
that have been maimed, that have been bullied, that have been brutalized, that have been unlawfully arrested. Y'all, we are living with an abuser right now. That is who Trump and his administration is. And frankly, I think we all have a little bit of PTSD. But if you know anything about a domestic abuser, the one thing about them that you need to know is that they are some of the biggest cowards that you will ever find. What they can't stand is when you actually fight back. And so thank you so much for everybody in Minnesota. But it is time for our entire country to stand together. Because if you don't recognize that we are all in the same sinking ship, whether you are black, white, Latino, African, whoever you are, the reality is that we have an administration that has decided that they are going to ignore our constitutional rights, and we will not stand for it. Otherwise, our democracy will fall. So I just got this to say because
Thank you, Representative Crockett. We got some people that got to make some planes. So.
I have no words for that other than bravo. No, it's Sunday, Monday. I'm usually in chill mode, but due to the capacity, it's just been not good. Not good for the state of Nevada. It's just has not been good at all. Not been good. But hopefully we're gonna use up all my PTO. So they don't even tell you how much PTO you get. Hopefully I didn't use all. Hopefully. As for Jasmine, damn, lost my train of thought. Let's go on to the next video. I just hope she makes it. Yeah, I am having a brain freeze. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, you could have been anywhere in the world. The reason why the reason or reasons, I'm just going to name one serious reason that Jasmine Crockett is under 9 points, because I said it today that James Tallarico is up 10 points thus far, and that the Republicans want to play these unnecessary games with Jasmine by going to the polls and voting for James Tallarico, which I don't think that it's illegal, because people can do whatever they want. My issue is that one thing that she did, and she did it with a little bit of attitude, people don't like. It's the same thing with all these stupid relationship talks. Getting on their red pill rhetoric, saying how she shouldn't be in charge of anything, and this is not good. This is not what I signed up for. So she ends up going to the LGBTQ community, which I don't condone none of that stuff. I don't condone none of that stuff at all. However, if it's going to get you to vote, it's going to get you to vote. It's just like, Would you have a gay man give you your reparations? No, because he's giving you reparations in the form of a check. So why should you give a shit? Let me say another thing. Let me ask another question. If this person is Asian, would you mind if this Asian gave you your reparations check? No, because you're getting it in the form of a money. So what's the difference between an immigrant and a gay person? Nothing, because both of them are capable of signing checks. But we talk this political shit all the time, and yet people are having a problem because of the color of your skin and the content of your character, and for the simple fact that I laughed when Trump said that civil rights defended white people. I was like, I knew this reverse racism shit was going to be in full effect. I knew it. And that's just what it is, reverse racism. Because people been afraid for so long to speak up and show out. Now they're able to, because this heathen is in office. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting indeed. Quite interesting indeed. Let's see. I still don't know how to transfer none of this shit. I really don't. Hold on. Wait. This is... Are we ever going to recover from this?
You're asking me to play Miss Cleo right now. I can't tell you that I know the answer to that.
Nope. That's old. That is very old. Remember when I told you I wanted to transfer some of my stuff over to StreamYard? Let's just say, for example, and then y'all will follow along, but I just not bother with it anymore. It's too much of a hassle. But yeah, she's doing a little bunch of campaign tours, so is this really nothing much. Really nothing much of a value. She's just up and running her campaign. By the way, sidebar, who is Drewski? Can anybody tell me who Drewski is? Let's see. Does anybody know who Drewski is? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead.
Blood out. Your head feels like it's going to explode. Totally helpless. So what are we really talking about here when we say directed energy? Well, a bunch of people online are kind of mashing three different things together. First, electronic warfare means attacking the spectrum. Okay. That means you don't need to blow up a radar if you can just jam it, if you can just spoof it, if you can just overload it, or cut the network. It depends on, totally.
Oh,
you can't just sit there stupid. You can't do anything.
Oh.
We go now to Castlewood, South Dakota, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Good morning to you, Madam Secretary.
Good morning.
DHS calls this the largest operation in its history, nearly 3,000 federal agents out there. Is this an open-ended deployment, or is there a metric for success that ends it?
Well, I think every day we get a murderer off the streets of Minneapolis, the public is safer, and President Trump is keeping his promise to the American people. And we literally have arrested and detained
thousands of illegal criminals in Minnesota since President Trump came back into the White House. And I've never met a family that ever said, oh, I wish you would have left that rapist free. I wish you would have left that murderer on the streets. So we're just so thankful that we have a president that's upholding the law and is determined to make sure that the laws are applied equally to everyone. According to Pew, Minnesota's population of immigrants here illegally stands at 2.2%. So how do you judge when you've gotten everyone off the streets that you say is, requiring your federal agents be there? How do you say we've had mission accomplished? Well, we won't stop until we are sure that all the dangerous people are picked up, brought to justice, and then deported back to their home countries. Or a date? We wouldn't be in this situation. We wouldn't be in this situation if Joe Biden hadn't allowed our open border policies to be in place. And
notice that they keep repeating themselves. It's like a bot system or something. They just constantly keep repeating that same script over and over and over and over again. It's like a brainwashing or something.
Allowed up to 20 million people unvetted into this country. We have no idea how many dangerous people are here. When you have millions of people coming in that are terrorists, suspected terrorists, criminals, come from countries in the mass migration that the Biden administration facilitated, I can't tell the people of Minnesota exactly how many dangerous criminals they have. I do know that they're extremely grateful every time we get a pedophile off the street. We arrested an individual this week that was raping children. I think those parents in Minnesota can sleep better at night knowing that that person isn't free. Sure, but you just said millions. What's the breakdown of the percentage of those who you have in custody who've actually committed a criminal offense versus just the civil infraction? Every single individual has committed a crime, but 70% of them have committed or have charges against them.
Did she say 70%?
Crimes that they are charged with or have been convicted of that have come from other countries that are here illegally, first of all, and then they have committed a criminal act while they've been here or in their home countries as well. It's not 70%. Yes, it is. It's actually 70% of everyone. Keep changing your percentage. You pick and choose what numbers you think work, but that is the facts, is that 70% of the people that we have detained have charges against them or have been convicted of charges, and they need to be brought to justice.
Oh, that kind of sparked me a little bit. 70%. It's like, no, it's not 70%. She means 70% of who they have arrested. But they don't know which one's innocent and which one's guilty. What if she was 70% wrong? That will make her 100% wrong. Or maybe 90% wrong and only 10% right. Okay. But I'm just saying, what if she's 90% right and 10% wrong? Or then again, she could be 10% right and 90% wrong. I just love it when these people go through a script.
And keep doing that no matter how much you guys keep lying and don't tell the public the truth. It absolutely is that these law enforcement officers are out there every day doing the work to protect the American people, and they will keep doing that because they believe in enforcing the law, which is exactly what President Trump has charged them with. Okay, well, our reporting is that 47%, based on your agency's own numbers, 47% have criminal convictions against them. But let's talk about the other numbers. Wrong again. Absolutely. We'll get you the correct numbers so you can use them in the future. Well, that's from your agency. Let's talk about our numbers here at CBS. 54% of Americans think the ICE agent shooting of Renee Good was not justified. 60% say the Trump administration responded to the ICE agent's actions unfairly. These numbers show you do not have the American public on your side. Does that concern you? Well, the facts are that this individual weaponized her car and threatened the life of the law enforcement officer and those around him. And that is what the media needs to cover. People understand is the truth when they have the chance to hear the facts around the case. And this individual was impeding law enforcement operations for quite some time before this incident happened. It's a tragedy that this situation has happened in this country. We hope there's never another situation like this before. But this officer relied on his training to defend his life. And
Ma'am, look into this camera. This was an execution. Don't look at it as anything else. But then people will spin it and spin it and spin it. Even if I will say this, even if she was in the wrong, there is still no excuse for you to extend your arm and make sure you got the job done. One shot fired, nobody would have cared. But we're talking about 3 specific shots. It's unforgivable. And may the lady rest in power and whatever. But this was unlawfully. This was very unlawful, but apparently people don't care. They just don't care.
to defend those around him, and we're grateful that we're in a situation where we hope that more people don't weaponize their vehicles like this. We're seeing it happen over and over again. We've seen over 100 different vehicle weaponized and attacking law enforcement officers. I would hope that Mayor Fry, when he's on here, that he'll announce that he's going to start working with us to bring safety to the streets. If he would set up a peaceful protest zone so that these individuals can exercise their First Amendment rights and do so peacefully, we would love that. Because then we could work together to make sure we're getting.
And the last time there was peace, it became chaotic. And need to remind you, you might want to get an eye out. You might want to get a lookout for, certain individuals and groups. The infiltrators that are in the groups, like FBI people. If you want to do a protest, if you want peaceful, you notice that there's always that one person who's is out of place, out of pocket and out of place. We want to get rid of that person, right? But you never know.
Getting criminals to justice and letting people still express their First Amendment rights.
Well, you know that it is in dispute about weaponizing a car versus driving forward, but I'll put that aside.
No, it's really
Tell
not.
me about.
Everybody can watch the videos and see that.
Well, let me talk to you about the officer, Jonathan Ross. He was struck. He was hospitalized.
Don't say his name. I mean, for heaven's sakes, we shouldn't have people continue to dox law enforcement when they have an 8,000% increase in death threats against them. I know, but that doesn't mean it should continue to be said. His life, he got attacked with a car that was trying to take his life, and then the people have attacked him and his family, and they are in jeopardy. And we have law enforcement officers every day who are getting death threats and getting attacked at their hotels.
Well, can you tell me about his status right now?
Thrown at them, and
well, of course, no one condones violence
healing
against anyone, but here, CBS reported that he did have internal bleeding in the torso, but he was released that same day. So is he back at work? Did you give him the required 3 days of suspension?
We followed the exact same protocols that we always have for years as to investigations into these situations. But
3 days of
I'm not going to talk about his
leave?
medical records. I know that that in itself is his prerogative to discuss his health, but we're hopeful that all of.
I mean, if you're not going to do an interview, then why are you there in the first place? I mean, it's simple, cut and dry. He was bleeding in the torso. Where? He was bleeding in the torso, but yet he didn't get hit. Okay, I got you. I was bleeding in my anus, and yet I was still running around like I was still running around with like a jackrabbit, just minding my own business. This is stupid. This is literally stupid. But white people still, white supremacists stick to their script, don't they? They really stick to their script.
Our law enforcement officers know that they can go out and do their job, apply the law equally to everyone, and that they can do so safely, and that the media and people aren't going to attack them for standing up for what's right. I'm asking you about your policies. I asked you if you had put him on administrative leave. This is in question because the governor of Minnesota said the only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her. Is he correct that the federal agent is not being investigated in any way? Is there any review of protocol here? We are following the exact same investigative and review process that we always have under ICE and under the Department of Homeland Security and within the administration. The exact same policy that the Biden administration used. So his actions are being. So we haven't changed any of that. I would not listen to Governor Walz. He has a very bad track record. All this billions of dollars of fraud was stolen from people under his watch. He allowed it to happen, and he also ignored the law and allowed the city of Minneapolis to burn down in 2020. He certainly isn't to have good judgment in these types of situations, and I'm not going to be taking any advice from him. And
you had a whole president attack the Capitol in 2020. You had a whole body of people, a majority of people attacking the Capitol over there. Talk about pot calling a cow black. Interesting. Like I said, why would you, if you didn't want to do the interview, then why do it? Why do it?
How we implement the law and protect people.
Do I understand you saying that the Office of Professional Responsibility is doing its own probe to determine that the ICE agent violated protocol and that he was on 3 days of administrative leave, because that is what is in the handbook?
The protocol and the advice and the guidance within that handbook and within our policies is being followed exactly like it has been for years.
Okay, so there is some review of his actions, is what I understand you saying there.
Remember, there always is. Every law enforcement officer knows that. When they take the oath to step up and to protect the public and put their lives on the line, they absolutely know that everything that they do will be analyzed and investigated. But also what I don't think they realized until just recently is how the liberals and the Democrats and the media would attack them and try to ruin their lives for doing what's right. And we're seeing in Minneapolis.
The answer is no. Why, if I'm in charge of ICE agents, and also under the Trump administration, and also not endorsing, but sign with a idiotic fool, because he keeps constantly making immature decisions and getting away with it because of immunity. It's very, very cringing. Very, very cringing indeed.
Precedented fraud history going on by elected leaders and individuals in that state, but also criminal activity, and it's being allowed to happen. When we did these operations in other cities across the country, we didn't see this kind of violence. We didn't see organized, funded protesters come in to conduct acts of violence against our law enforcement officers.
Let's
like
talk
we're
about
seeing
that.
in Minneapolis. The elected leaders and Mayor Frey is allowing that to happen and allowing
this kind of violence to happen when we didn't see it in Louisiana, we didn't see it in Florida, we didn't see it in other
We will
cities.
talk to Fry about what's happening.
And we shouldn't have to be watching it here in Minneapolis.
But we have heard, and I'm asking you here about the security of your agents that you say you are concerned about. The local police chief said your agents are being forced into situations out in Minneapolis that they're not prepared to deal with. And we looked, and the Government Accountability Office said back in 2021, most ICE agents are not trained to handle crowd control. So are you looking at expanding the training for the agents that you are putting in this situation that you describe as dangerous out in Minneapolis?
No.
They are absolutely trained for the situations that they're put in.
No,
We would never
they
put
are
an officer
not.
in a situation that they would be beyond their training and skill sets. And so these are highly trained individuals that are here and in Minneapolis doing operations. They are, and frankly,
On
the
crowd
Minneapolis
control and
chief of police is
de-escalation?
not an expert. Absolutely, they are trained to that. Their specialized skill set is being utilized for where they are located and the jobs that they are doing in Minneapolis and across other cities across the country. They have an incredible amount of training that is ongoing throughout their careers.
Do you want to expand that?
Control in handling enforcement operations that they have. Do I want to expand it based on the Minneapolis police chief's advice?
Well, some
Not on his advice.
no, but
I will
some
continue
Republican
to use-
lawmakers have called
if
for
you
that.
remember, well, Republican lawmakers and Democrat lawmakers, they absolutely can continue to debate. That's what they're supposed to do, is work on policy and pass laws. What I know is that under the Department of Homeland Security has always been entrusted with training our federal law enforcement officers. We do it for many different agencies. We train those within the ATF, the DEA. We train those that are established across the country.
And you can do that all within 47 days. Make it make sense.
The largest law enforcement operation and department in the government beyond the Department of War. And we're proud of that, and we've done it with excellence for years and are continuing to put the resources and people into our law enforcement officers. They need to change and to challenge these situations they're facing on the ground.
Yeah, but you've described this situation as unique. You've acknowledged that. I want to talk to you about some of the incidents that the public has seen. There was a U.S. citizen, Aliyah Rahman, on her way to a medical appointment out in Minneapolis. She was dragged out of her car and detained. Video of her arrest was spreading on social media. There were allegations there of aggressive tactics. You've seen other incidents, for example, out in Minneapolis, this family with 6 children, with one as young as 6 months old, got kind of caught in the incident as they were driving the basketball practice. The mother, Destiny Jackson, told CBS ICE agents stopped the car, told them to leave, but the agents were in the way, and they feared that they would have happened to them what happened to Renee Good. They didn't drive off. ICE released a canister of tear gas, and the mother described giving her infant CPR. We're showing that video there. Do any of these tactics seem to you heavy-handed?
The family was caught up in that situation because of violent protesters that were impeding law enforcement operations. And that family would have never been in that situation if those protesters had been acting peacefully. And law enforcement was able to do.
Why? Why does everything have to be a guilt trip? I live in Los Angeles, California, and I can tell you that the protest was whack. That's crazy. But I guess if you want certain things to happen, I guess you're just gonna have to do it in a peaceful manner, of course. But we know how those things go, because apparently, if we look back through history, the same thing. We have been doing this for quite some time. We have been the yes men, no men, the yes ma'am, no ma'am type individuals with the suits and ties on back then. while we were still getting dogs sicked on us, you know, having churches burned down, minus the people coming in, having one white boy come in and start murdering a whole bunch of church folk. But it's embarrassing to have people protest under the First Amendment. Oh, it's how they were acting. How were they acting? Remember what I said earlier about the whole infiltration thing? You don't know who was in that crowd and who was out there trying to get the attention that they need so they can go rush up to NBC, UNBC, or whoever and say, "Hey, look at this." And especially Fox News. You think Fox News and people like Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity wouldn't blow that shit up in a minute? Please. Please. They wouldn't have it any other way. And they would love to tell Democrats and independents all day, every day that, you know, this is the type of thing that Americans need. That's another thing. I get sick and tired of people saying that they're, you know, I'm an American born and bred and all this other stuff, but you're the one getting attacked out there. Quite frankly, we're supposed to be minding our own business, right? We, as Black people, are supposed to be minding our business, but then again, there are clips beyond clips of people like you and I getting dragged and kidnapped, all under the guise of not having your certificate, not having a license, not having your social security card. Well, minus the security card, whatever.
Their job without being threatened. And so it's a terrible situation that family had to go through, and I hope it never happens again. But we need to remember that because the mayor and the governor have allowed this kind of violence to be perpetuated across Minneapolis is why there's other innocent people that are impacted throughout the city, but throughout their state as well. And it doesn't have to be this way. They could establish a peaceful protest zone. They could enforce their laws. And if Governor Walz didn't recognize that what he is doing there is poor leadership, he wouldn't have put his National Guard on standby in order to respond.
So we're just getting an agent's face, right? Just like that, right? After we're being dragged out of our homes, getting shot in cars, dragged out of our cars, get beat on and getting choked to death. I guess we're just supposed to just lay down and take it. That sounds like weak sauce. This is and I once again I applaud my brothers out there for the Black Panther Party. I applaud those who are out there putting the work in. Absolutely, abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Because if you mess with one, you mess with many of them, of course. So I'm glad for that, brother. Yeah, that was weak sauce right there. That was some damn weak sauce. We should have never did that thing. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even worried about it. When you get tired of getting your ass whooped, don't come crying to the person that's in charge. Oh, he has a bullhorn in his hand and say, "We're not going to take it anymore." Gotta stop that. You really gotta stop.
And I'm hopeful that he does recognize it.
You have to stop with this pick and choose shit. You really have to stop it, because we are doing peaceful protesters, but there's always that one, and you have to be fully careful who you admit into your inner circle. You have to be careful with that.
To start working with us.
Are your agents going to
I know
comply
the
with
White House has asked him to.
with the federal order on Friday to not use chemical agents?
That federal order was a little ridiculous, because that federal judge came down and told us we couldn't do what we already aren't doing. We
just saw video of chemical agents being used.
We only use those chemical agents when there's violence happening and perpetuating, and you need to be able to establish law and order to keep people safe. That's the only situation. So that judge's order didn't change anything for how we're operating on the ground, because it's basically telling us to do what we've already been doing.
If you think it's that simple, then do it. If you think it's that simple, then do it. If you think that just getting a regular job that don't pay you anything and contribute to your communities but you're forgetting you got to attend to yours first before you attend to anybody else. I mean, unless you plan on giving like $5, $10, $15, $20 and setting it aside each month or each week or each and every single time you get paid. Unless you plan on doing that, cool beans. Don't talk about it, be about it. Do not talk about it, be about it. Okay, I just thought I'd do this little thing, but apparently I'm drained. But I am doing a bit of some other research. This woman must go. She must go, and due to the fact that prejudiceness rules the nation. But it's not just prejudice. That's just small potatoes. That's like a horizontal issue. The vertical issue is to get money by any means necessary. That's pertaining to them. Get that power. It was just like DJ Quick would say. First you get the money, then you get the power, then everything else falls into play. Right? But I'll get with y'all tomorrow night. Peace. Bye.